Check. Ben Simmons.
Yeah, well, look.
Ben Simmons.
I hear two different stories. The Australians say that the Philly people were so mean to Ben Simmons that he developed a back issue. And the Philly people say he's such a weak man that they tried to love him.
That's the thing. The reason Philly hates Ben Simmons is because we loved him so much.
Yeah.
You don't hate something
Number
that
one
much
draft pick all the way from Australia.
He had a documentary before.
Light-skinned black guy.
The NBA wanted him to be the face of the league. You understand? Like, having $1 billion industry want you to be its face, and then you don't work hard enough to you don't even give it a shot at being a face. You know what I mean?
Devastating.
Yeah, but I know you. Your mindset wouldn't. If you knew something was like, James, we're trying to do a thing for you. We're trying to make you the guy. You work.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But did he get lazy or did he get unhinged?
I think he was lazy.
Okay.
His biggest problem was he was super athletic. He had natural, his body was made for basketball.
You don't think skills-wise he was putting in the work?
He was not on the thing that he wasn't good at.
Yeah.
He wasn't good at shooting, and he never tried to get better. He wanted to.
That's fairly important in basketball.
It's one of the most important skills. And in this position he wanted to play. I don't think he does it for other teams now, but when he was playing for us, he was our point guard. He wanted to be like Magic Johnson, which is a tall, taller than usual point guard. He's like 6'9", 6'10". He's a giant. That guy is usually like Steph Curry, 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
And
But that guy has to shoot.
That guy has to shoot. That's his job.
That would be longevity in that position. If you're worried about your body falling apart, that's the job you want.
And he never even tried to get a jump shot. He had legends like Kobe. There was an interview of Kobe after he was retired. They asked him about people he think are good or something. It was they brought up Ben Simmons. He was like, he's got to get a jump shot. If Chappelle was like, I like how you write your jokes, you gotta get your act outs together. I'd be like, all right,
I'll work on that. But there's a lot of. The only basketball player whose career I follow was Zion Williams.
Yeah.
Because I watched him and I thought, he's big.
Yeah.
I like New Orleans. He's fat.
and he still can jump.
And people said, he's so fat.
Yeah.
He's got to be his knees won't be able to take that after a while.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he cannot play more than a couple games a season.
And he can't lose the weight. I don't know if it's his body or if it's his mind, because he gains weight.
I think it might be the mind, because I've heard about how he carries on with the ladies.
Yeah.
And I think that man might have some insatiable appetites. But we should mention, we're on a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For people not with the video, we are on my boat at the back of my house. And I felt like I didn't know how to explain that there was a boat now to people. So I'm happy to have here the great Nate Marshall.
Oh, this is the boat reveal.
This is a boat reveal.
Oh,
people don't know about the boat yet. This is not the final boat.
Yeah.
But it's a boat.
It's not a catamaran.
Oh, before I go on, because there's drop off on people. People start watching it and then they get busy.
Yeah.
Do you have any dates you want to share?
No.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just always Optimal Noctis at Creek in the Cave, first Tuesday every month. Me, Lemaire Lee, Sean Gardini, James comes all the time.
It's true. I've been there a couple times.
Shade and Matt drop in sometimes. It's worth a ticket admission.
I'm doing my first big tour.
Hell yeah.
A lot of dates.
Yes.
Portland, May 14. Seattle, May 15. Columbus, June 4. Cincinnati, June 5. Omaha, June 11. Des Moines.
You doing Portland Helium?
June 12. I believe so.
Sick.
Atlanta, June 18. I was hoping to do the Juneteenth gig at Atlanta, but it's a one day off.
You can't.
You're
not allowed.
I'll be doing the Raleigh Juneteenth
unless you bring
gig,
me.
June 19. Happy to bring you on as many of these as you want to go on. You're the best man to travel with that I've ever traveled with. Philadelphia, June 24. Pittsburgh, June 25. Horses Don't Stop tour.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a joke about it, and then I saw that guy. I don't know if you saw it. A guy had Horses Don't Stop tattooed on his back because of the Young Thug lyric.
Yeah.
And Young Thug came out and said, I'm not saying that. I'm saying hustlers.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
It's just happened this week. Someone had a tattoo on their back after the tour got announced.
Wasn't that almost the special?
I almost got, and then
you found out it wasn't.
But you don't mention that at any point during the comedy piece. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it on the next one. I'll write a whole bit about it.
It will be a title.
I feel like it's a title. I mean, it's so much better than Hustlers Don't Stop. Come and see the show. Find out about it. All right, I love
that you yell to the camera that's far away.
Very far away. No one's doing the far away camera the way that I'm doing.
No, this is original.
We keep it very, very original. If you have any... I think the best way to explain the boat is if you ask questions and I'll try and answer them as best I can.
First, all right. How did you... Because you have... So no one knows that you sail... I don't even know... Is this a sailboat?
This is a sailing catamaran. It's like a learning catamaran.
Oh, this is a catamaran.
This is a catamaran, yeah.
Oh,
I wanted like
okay.
a $500,000 catamaran, but this is like a... The man who gave it to me, Ben Dominench, gave it to me.
Does he know you from the pod and stuff?
Yeah.
He had a
He listened to
catamaran?
the pod, and I heard him years ago because he used to run a website called The Federalist.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful, nice
Is this
center
okay
right
what I'm doing with my foot?
I don't know. No, I'd say go for it. Any weight distribution we can get to not dip this thing. He was a fan of the pod, and he booked me for a gig. He's in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And it was like a pro-life charity gig. I didn't take any. I was just like, I'll just come and do it.
Yeah.
And I got there and he said, I got you a boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, how do I get that back? He said, I thought you were driving because last minute I decided not to drive.
Yeah.
So it was just a boat sitting at his house for several months. And he started to get onto me and say, my wife is starting to get a little bit annoyed that there's a boat. Now my wife gets to be annoyed that there's a boat here.
Wait, so is your wife pissed about the boat?
She's like, can we get it in the garage?
Well, do you have your whip in the garage?
No, the whip is out front.
Okay. I didn't see it.
There's just junk in the garage. I'm trying to make it work. But yeah, so this was the start of my big touring thing that hasn't stopped because I just got back from Indianapolis and Cincinnati and New York, and then before that I had 2 days off, and then it was London for a week, and then before that I drove the boat back. I flew to Washington and we drove the boat back together.
Was that terrifying? Oh, you drove it back?
Yeah. No, we put it on the back of a truck.
Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest.
It was terrifying.
I'll be honest. I am just now realizing in this moment,
Yeah.
I thought you boated.
Oh, no.
Boated when you first ever said that you came.
That's important for you to clarify.
I thought, because you got to say, like, you said Tennessee, right?
We stopped in Tennessee, yeah.
Okay. I thought...
I had to leave it overnight at Zany's.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
And they just were like, fine.
She was staying in a motel in a bad neighborhood. And was like, I don't think we can leave the boat here. I was like, all right.
Was it the motel? Oh, it was you and the family. It wasn't because of Zany's, or was it because of Zany's?
No, so the family was... I left the family and I flew to Washington.
Yeah.
And we hitched the boat up next morning.
Yeah.
And we drove like 20 hours across the country to bring this boat back here. And it's such a generous gift. I also don't know how to... At first I thought, what's happening?
Yeah.
Is this an America thing? People just give you boats? But he's a fan. He said he wanted me to get some sailing experience.
Oh, you said he put on the pro-life thing.
He put on the pro-life gig.
I think people, like, I was about to cuss.
It's a bit ironic because I'm about to die on this boat. I've never taken this boat out.
I do think people probably gravitate to that because there's not a lot of people. I mean, it's not like you are clean comedy, but you are very outwardly Christian, and that's not a thing anymore. And I think that people, you got
to go clean with that if you're going to do. I mean, professionally, it's a huge mistake. I see the clean boys.
I think that's what people like about you, though. It's like because it's like the we're all flawed thing.
Yeah,
where you're not trying to pretend to be perfect. Like I don't cuss. It's like I
don't know why they don't cuss. I don't think there's anything scripturally that says I shouldn't cuss.
I bet you God's cuss. He's been mad enough to destroy a
up
city.
On that cross. They were taking the final words as the nail went through the hand. They're like, we'll leave that one out.
Yeah, you think he got stabbed in his stomach and didn't go, shit.
He might. And you know what? I think it would have been fine. Yeah. I don't think that would be outside the realm. I mean, if he can say, my God, why have you forsaken me? If he can say, take this cup away. If he can express distress in other ways. At least he would have let out a big, ooh.
Yeah. Oh,
come on. You wouldn't get angry with the guy poking vinegar in your face while you're up on the cross. How about some water?
I am touched. What is this part? This is the sail.
Now this makes it very hard to store as well. This will never fit.
Yeah. So what about a catamaran made you? Yeah. Why'd you want a catamaran as opposed to? Because now that I know that a catamaran is not a boat that you sit in with seats and shit.
Yeah. Well, it can be. It's just any two-hulled sea vehicle. I don't know. What
so like the $500,000 catamaran.
I want a fancy one.
Yeah.
With
Yeah. Okay.
Spear fishing and a barbecue pit.
What's your ideal catamaran day? You have the catamaran of your dream. This is a great catamaran.
This is such a great Catamaran.
I don't want to knock this catamaran for 1 second. Or even this catamaran.
And important to learn on this catamaran so that I can,
not crash the nice one.
Oh, man, I'm going to crash the nice one.
That be on a sinking catamaran after all of it.
Yeah. The podcast goes for 3 years, and then I die immediately. Downloads go through the roof after that point.
The family will eat good.
Oh, yeah. Everything goes behind the Patreon. Don't unsubscribe from the Patreon when I die. Yeah. It's, I don't know. It was like, I guess, I was in lockdown. I was watching like a lot of family vloggers and people on boats and things. And there was Sailing La Vagabonda, who were wonderful. Yeah. And I thought, I'd like that. And I just thought I could use all my ADHD and just group them all together and push them towards the, Yeah. Why are you starting a sock company? Why are you doing an art auction? Why you got a book of poems? Why are you doing stand-up comedy? I could just say, it's for the boat.
It's all for the boat.
And now I have the boat. And I could just say at this point, this is the boat. It's over.
You did it. But you got a catamaran of your dreams.
Well, people have been contributing financially to the Patreon.
Yeah.
So I do have to go and get the catamaran of the dreams. But this is a wonderful... Ben, thank you. I got to talk about the drive. Shout out, Ben. If anyone else wants to buy me, at this point I could probably use some new socks and this hot sauce that I had for the first time in Cincinnati. Yeah, I got these in Salt Lake City.
Royal blue socks is a choice.
Well, it was not. When you're on the road and you need socks because you're stinky, you got to make some... Man, I find it very hard not to dip into slight black scent things when talking to black people. I want you to know this. I've caught myself doing it twice. I got to get me some of them socks. Shit. I find it... And white people must do this all the time. And black people must notice.
What?
That when white people, just over the course of a conversation, start going, damn.
The white people in my life don't do it. Maybe Gardini, but I think he kind of talks like
he's so quiet.
Like he'll hit a shit organically, no matter what. I don't think that's because I'm around.
That's part of him. That's who he is deep down.
Yeah. So the white people I'm around though, and like I feel like comedy white people are around. I am terrified of bees. So if you see me start,
I think that's a wasp. Don't worry about it.
Makes it actually worse. They're the mean ones. He won't die when he stings me.
What I'm shocked by, comedy people spend a lot of time. Comedy whites, in America spend a lot of time with the comedy blacks. Yeah, and I'm discovering the longer I'm here that's quite strange in an American context. Yeah. There's not a lot of like if I look at other parts of my life where I would hang out with black people. Yeah. Comedy is one of the very few areas where I would be comedy and sports and like maybe music. That seems more.
In music is still like it gets like this. Like, are we hanging out together? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you really want to go to this show? Like, I've gone to shows that I would never go to. I've been to like hardcore shows with. Have you met Andy?
What's Andy's last name?
Malafarina.
Did he move here?
Yeah,
he finally moved here.
Yeah, when you came into our pod, it was just me and Lemaire. Yeah,
he's here now.
Yeah,
I don't think I've met Andy, but I'm looking forward to meet. I'm sorry if I have, Andy.
No, you did. I feel like you will remember meeting. Were you here on 4th of July?
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't here. Right. But I will be here, I think, for this 4th of July. Yeah.
Hopefully we do the same thing we did last time.
Send it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk extra white. I start talking like the American whites when I talk to them. Yeah. I just have like a very sticky accent.
I feel like your accent probably makes you, like if you could lock into it and not do that, it would probably make...
It would be better.
It would be better. I feel like people would be like, I want this guy around. He sounds different.
It would be a mistake for me to lose this unique... With wogs in Australia, if I hang out with like Italians, I start talking like the Italians. Yeah.
Wogs?
In the UK, you're not allowed to use that word. That means a different group of people.
Who is it there?
I think that's black guys.
Oh.
And it's very bad. But in Australia, it's just like Greeks, Italians.
Is it like black people like American black people, or is it like black people like African black people?
I think like Jamaica black people.
Okay.
Because that's where their black people came from. Okay. I think is like the Commonwealth countries. Commonwealth. See? It's also being tired.
Yeah. This was an early morning, and I still was late.
Thank you for doing the early morning pod. This was the only time my family was out of the house. I tried doing a podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. I got to talk about the drive. We drove. We saw the. I don't know if you've watched on The Simpsons when they go to Knoxville. And they go to the Sun Sphere. They think like the World's Fair's there. Yeah. And there's the Sun Sphere. And then it's all dilapidated.
How old is this one?
It's an old one.
Okay,
it's when like Martin, Nelson, Bart, and Milhouse rent a car. and they go to Branson and they see Andy Williams singing Moon River.
Okay, I don't remember this.
No one remembers this episode.
Yeah.
This is very strange. It meant a lot to me. But I got to go and see the Sunsphere, which is this thing, and it was actually really nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. So you drove the boat.
Memphis. We drove past the Bass Pro Shop that's a pyramid.
Yeah. It was like the actual mecca of brass boats.
It's the one I see in memes all the time where people go.
Did you go in?
No, we had to keep driving. Also, parking with this boat was... Going through a McDonald's with this boat was not fun.
What'd you haul it with?
We rented a truck.
Okay. Like a pickup?
We had a pickup truck.
Nice.
And I only a couple hours in let...
Where is the sail in here?
Yeah, so the actual sail's in there. This is the mast.
Okay, I didn't know if they just open.
Yeah.
So, I got no boat knowledge.
Man, I don't know what to do. How do I go from having a boat behind my house into actually having it on the water?
You got to befriend one of these rich Austin guys that has a boat as a place.
I believe Eve Ellenbogen, as a New York Jewess, took sailing lessons.
Yeah.
So I might ask Eve to take me out.
You think she'll know?
She was sort of hesitant about having recalled enough to be able to do it, but I think she might know.
And all right, so what are these for?
Those are garbage cans.
No. No.
It's used for removing garbage from the house.
Big, didn't know. These
I
fins.
think they are fins that go in the water and help you move
so
water.
they bend down. They don't stay like this.
All right, another thing on the black accent. It's way closer to the Australian accent than the white American accent.
Yeah, or I'm accidentally going, what if I'm going Australian and don't realize it?
There's no way. But like water.
Yeah, water. Well,
they say water in a very similar way. They say water.
But that's also PA. That's Philly. Yeah. I think that's like...
all the way to Chicago. In Chicago, it's really similar.
What do they... I don't know how do they do it.
Water. Car.
Water. Car, okay.
It's never car.
Yeah. Water Sunday. Like that's how we eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's Sunday.
And you're from Central PA.
I was born in Philly.
Okay.
And my parents separated, and they got back together in this... city called Reading. It's like an hour from Philly.
Okay.
So not really central.
Did they stay together after they got back together?
Yeah, they're still together now.
How long did they break up for, and why did they move to a new town to get back together?
My dad is from Reading. Like, he was born in Reading, and the cost of living there is like they got a house out there. You get a house in Philly. Actually, my mom had a house in Philly, but she sold it when they got back together. Like all the other stuff.
You can get them. How long were they split up for?
I think they split up when I was 5 or 4, and they got back together when I was like 7.
That's incredible because that almost never happens.
Yeah,
and I would assume every 5-year-old, unless it's very abusive at home.
Yeah.
That's like a dream that people would tell you as a child. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, they're never
It's
getting
never
back.
happening, and then all of a sudden it happens.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that's pretty... I never actually thought of it in that context before, because it's usually... family separate, and it's like, all right, now you have 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
But I would just go see... my dad would come. He would drive back down to Philly, pick me up from school like every other weekend. I spend the weekend with him. He'd always have a dope-ass toy for me. Like, I was a big Power Rangers or like Beast Wars guy.
Oh, I remember the Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. He would give me... I would get picked up, and he'd just have the biggest Beast War possible in the back.
How old are you? 33?
35.
35, okay.
Yeah.
But you would have... This is also the Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy, yep.
New Game Boy games?
I was big. I have pictures of me
Game Boy Pocket or Game Boy Color would have been later on.
Big one. I had the gray one. I had the gray one. There's like pictures of me that I found. I forget how I got them. I could show you one later, but it's just me as a kid. I was staying with like cousins. I have it in my hand in every picture, but I'm not even playing it. It was just like, nah.
It was a cool thing to have.
You just not touching my Game Boy.
The big Game Boy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It probably still works if you found
right
one.
With the leg. I have to figure out a way to sit down on this boat without my leg going dead.
If there was shade on this side, it would be easier to be like.
Just both lie down.
Yeah. That would have been a great video pod. We just lay on our backs.
I'm genuinely terrified of the boat tipping over.
Yeah, don't do it. Be careful. Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Just your laptop also break. It would be way more expensive than just a boat.
I don't know how much this boat cost. I'm sure people will find out and tell me how how much Ben has paid for me to have a boat, and I'm very grateful. I did feel at first, because I've been reading about Clarence Thomas getting gifts from people in the political world. It's like I arrive in Washington D.C. and they go, "Here's a boat," and I think, "What do I have to do? what does this mean that people have over me now? Who have I become?" And he just seems like a lovely man who got me a boat.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell me to keep it a secret.
I wonder how long he's had the boat sitting there. You know what I mean? You might have also been doing him a favor.
No, I think he got the boat specifically for, like, he found.
He bought this boat.
Bought the boat.
Oh, shit.
Again, this is very important.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Did that just happen?
I don't know, but I'm going to go and fix it. If you would entertain.
Yeah. Well, what happened? What's going on for the audio listeners, the video listeners? I'm sure you know what we just figured out. The camera has tipped. The camera is.
I've got a dead leg.
Yeah, the camera is tipped. James has a slight limp from a dead leg from sitting Indian style on this catamaran. We have to figure out a new sitting system for the catamaran by the time you take it on the water. I think I'm curious about is where. Now, if you were on this, would you bring beers?
I don't think. I'm going to move it slightly further. I don't think we could have beers on this boat.
It feels like it would definitely. You would lose the beers.
I think it's a very focused.
Like you
everyone's sailing.
There's no lounging on this boat.
No.
Okay.
Stand here until feeling in my leg comes back. I'm not a fit man. I'm not a young man. I really thought that when I got the boat, I would also have enough money to also have people who sailed the boat for me.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd have to actually learn about the operation of the boat. Also, I never thought I thought maybe I'll die first before I get the boat.
That's one of those where you're like a catamaran player and there's no way this will fucking work. And then
People started telling me it was a metaphor, and I had to say, now this might be worse for tipping. Is that okay?
Please don't tip it while I'm on it.
No, I
just get decapitated by the mast.
I'm going to sit on this side. Hold on, there we go. That'll balance it out.
You go sit in the sun?
Yeah, I've got this beautiful hat. It's going to help me out.
Okay. I don't think the hat's beautiful. I hate the hat. You know I hate the hat. It's a Boston Celtics hat. If you know anything about basketball, and I'm a Sixers fan, you know, it's a big fuck you to the Celtics to me. Oh.
How do we feel about that?
It doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Damn.
Yeah.
If it did tip. This is actually probably keeping it from tipping. If it didn't tip when we were both on this side.
We're going to get off very carefully together.
Yeah.
I'm going to give people a quick update on some plans.
Yeah.
My back to the camera. New book of poems will be coming out soon.
You have a title?
No, I'm struggling on a title. I was originally going to call it Interesting Soup, but then I wrote a poem about how much I liked French onion soup. Yeah. But then that poem came out because it was a bad poem.
I mean, how good is French onion soup, though?
I couldn't believe...
Oh, this is new to you?
Yes. I had it in Philadelphia at... it's next to a park.
Yeah.
The restaurant may be called Park.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
I don't know.
Anyway, Shane took me and he said I'd confused it with French onion dip. Yeah. And then for the first time I had the French onion soup, and it was as the wind. I got to get a wind guard, I think. Yeah, it's just, and now I can't have it. Yeah. Because I've become lactose intolerant because I had the raw milk.
Oh man.
It's killing me. I'm looking so good. I've never lost so much weight so quickly than not being able to have milk and milk related products.
Wait, how much were you milking?
I would go to a gig, and my sad wife. Yeah. Not always sad. I'm happier now, but there was a time there when we'd first moved to Austin when she was sad. But I would bring home milkshakes for us. Yeah. We were doing 4 to 5 milkshakes a week.
Where were you getting? Were you going Pete Terry's milkshake?
Sometimes at Pete Terry's, sometimes at McDonald's. Oh, the Wendy's milkshake is not bad. I do believe. Now the Chick-fil-A milkshake is something to really write home about.
Really good. Have you this is you can't even go back to it.
I know.
Amy's. You haven't had Amy's since you've been down here.
No, I don't know.
Amy's is like this is what the locals have told me. Amy's is they make that was terrifying. Amy's like I think they make their own ice cream or some shit. It's like a fancy ice cream place that has become a chain, and they have fire milkshakes.
It's killing me.
Yeah. You should have one more and then shit all day, and then
I can just. It's not like I'll die. I'll just do a terrible poos. Yeah. But when I started to literally shit myself. Yeah. I had one day where I lay down on the bed. I was wearing track pants and underpants, so it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was just like my first relaxed moment. Like everybody was out of the house, and I was like, "All right, finally." It was my first in about 6 months. This is my first moment of real relaxation, and I immediately shit my pants. Hello. Sorry, we're just doing a podcast on the boat. Has the boat gotten in the way at all? I'm very happy to hear that. I am going to try and get it in the garage. Okay. Oh,
that's so funny. People are like, all right, whatever you do, because I think most people hear a podcast and they go, oh, he's another guy doing a podcast with 0 people listening.
Yeah.
You go, we're doing a podcast on the boat, and she's like, all right, whatever, I don't give a shit.
This is bigger than the Tonight Show.
Yeah, this is huge.
She's not saying very much at the moment.
You see this garage? Do you get worried about people doing that geo-tracker thing that you're showing your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think with the interior of your house, you can also find it. And everybody I know is calm with it. You know? Like
yeah. Okay.
So I've just made my peace with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Carl Legacy was here, and he recorded a podcast from inside my house. And it's like, well, it's done.
Yeah, yeah.
If people want to find me,
they'll do it.
Let them get me. Here we go. But one day I will have a secret house that no one will know about and no one will see.
Yeah.
That's my dream, is to like retreat to the Adelaide Hills.
That's where you're going back, Adelaide?
One day.
I think I would go back to Central PA. That would be a nice thing. I would get the suburbs around Reading, PA.
Yeah, you've got it picked out.
I would live in like Wyomissing or West Reading. Those are like, I don't know, they're like Pflugerville distance.
Yep.
Maybe a little closer than Pflugerville distance to Austin.
You get a big yard.
Get a big yard. I got grocery stores near me. I grew up on like Puerto Rican and Dominican food, so that's all over the place.
Nice.
Reading has a super high like Puerto Rican Dominican population. It's probably like more than 50% of, and that's like then you get whites and black people.
Oh, so. I remember. So like when when Tony made his comments and they kept going to certain places in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
They were going, this is where it's important. This is where.
Yeah.
Because they weren't worried about the ones in New York turning, because like Republicans are never going to win New York. But
yeah.
PA, I had always thought that like the middle of America was white and black, and that like all the ethnic
stay to the coast.
Yeah, like
like the edges.
That's where the Chinese were. That's where the Muslims were, and then there are just weird pockets throughout America, like the Somalians in Minnesota.
Huh.
Huge numbers of Somalians in Minnesota. The Pakistanis made it to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was having a big chat with Fuzzy about that.
Yeah, that's where he's from?
Yeah, Fuzzy's is the Wildcats? No, hold on. What's the Badgers? I don't know.
I don't know shit about that place. Football. I don't think I've ever been to Wisconsin.
Do you have a college basketball team? It's March Madness.
Do I barely. It would be like Villanova or something, but like
you like the top professional.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with anybody in my household being big college fans or anything. Like not football, not basketball. So it did. Everything I like is like sports wise was my older brother probably being just like, we're Eagles fans, and I was like, all right, fuck it.
But
and
from Central PA, were there Steelers people out there? Is that the divide?
Nah, it's really there's Steelers people, but it was weird. Like it felt like because it's not we're an hour from Philly, we had people who were like Sixers fans.
Yeah.
One of my used to be closest friends was a big Steelers fan, but it felt like people kind of just picked whatever because they didn't have a real there was no Reading team to be like, this is my thing. There's a lot of Birds fans out there too, but it wasn't. You would think it would be 90% of the population or whatever would be Birds fans, and it's just not. Son, hat didn't do enough.
No, the hat is. I'm worried about it not recording, and then I'm hot, and I worry about skin cancer.
I don't see anything on the screen.
No, it's on here.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think that's good. I think that's the way to do it. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, man. No, I mean, if you get real small town, then you get the high school team, and that's what I got a little taste of that in Steubenville. They love Big Red.
In Steubenville?
Well, yeah.
That's PA, right?
East Ohio. It's right on the
Ohio,
cusp
okay.
of the West Virginia Panhandle.
Okay.
On the Ohio River Valley. But, man, once you get into a town of under 20,000 people,
Yeah.
high school ball becomes... That's the newspaper.
Yeah, people did give a fuck about our Redden High's basketball team. Not our football team at all, because our football team was awful, but our basketball team made it to, like, states all the time. Like, they were for real good.
People start moving there to go into the good basketball team? Does that happen?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
I because it was such a kind of fucked up area. Like, it had, when I was in school there was like a moment of it had the highest murder rate per capita.
Right there.
So
incredible.
I'll be honest.
Take that, New Orleans. You've got nothing.
It was per capita.
Yeah.
It was just like, because it's not a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But so like,
So if you have a spike of 3 killings,
yeah, in like a month, it's like, shit, everybody's dying. but per capita, we had like, and I remember it being like, you don't fuck with us. We nuts out here. It wasn't like a bad thing.
Man, St. Louis hangs his head in shame every time somebody else gets to take over.
You wish you were getting it in like Reading. Nah.
I think Australia, we do, I don't even know where the high murder rates are. The murder rates are so low.
Yeah, no guns.
No guns. Although people still find a way to kill. Certainly in London, the knives were out of control.
Yeah, that's a way worse way to
not
die.
even cool knives, not like cool machetes or...
Yeah.
You can buy so many cool knives here in America.
Especially in Texas.
Yeah, because you can also buy cool guns everywhere in Texas.
Yeah.
And I think people go, there are easier ways to kill somebody. You don't have to... Once you have the cool guns, you liberate the knife market.
Yeah.
You know? But once you clamp down on the knife market, they were getting like bread knives.
Yeah.
You go into a store and they have a shop.
Yeah.
You go down the shops.
Wait, was that you? Was that? I didn't even hear the difference.
Yeah, I catch myself falling into, and then I listen to myself from like 10 years ago. I sound like a completely different person. I have no identity. I don't
I gotta
really
hear
exist.
old James.
It's
It
not
was like
worth it.
extra Australian.
It's like private school Ponce Australia.
So you were like, hello I'm
everybody."
James.
Yeah.
I am very polite.
Close.
Yeah.
It's hard. I find when I was in London, I could do stand-up, but I could only do stand-up that I had written there.
Okay.
And then here, I can only do stand-up that I've written here in America. And in Australia, the same thing.
Yeah.
My act doesn't travel at all. And I wonder how to get the act that travels.
Well, I know I only know your American set, but I know your American set that you've been working on.
Well, it's about America.
It's about America, so I can see that you going to London and being like, I love America.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I love this country.
No,
I love Kanye.
That's
like, well, it's not.
the Kanye stuff works everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody knows
Really?
Kanye. Yeah,
That's awesome.
everybody's got feelings
I
about
love
Kanye.
the Kanye's that.
I think I could go to Nigeria and do the Kanye bit. I could go to Indonesia and do the Kanye bit.
Very
But I mean, in Australia, it was not about like being in Australia. It was about like just things that. My best bit was about bread, buying bread. It's like I bought $6 bread for the first time
in Australia.
In Australia. And it changed my life because you can never go back after you've had the fancy bread.
Yeah.
And there is no like fancy item culture in America in the same way.
I gotta disagree.
Tell me more.
I think so. You're saying like you can go to like a nice bakery. I don't know. I haven't seen one here.
It exists, but there's not like Lurpak would be our butter, but Kerrygold is your fancy butter.
Kerrygold. Oh, you mean like this stuff you get at a grocery store?
Yes. So I'm talking about not fancy outside a grocery store, but within the grocery store, buying the fancy item is somehow very like poetically meaningful in Australia. He's got the Lurpak. He's got the Kerrygold.
He's doing
wow.
Okay.
He spent the extra $3 to not get the normal one.
When you buy it here, if you buy like the fancy like pasta sauce, like Rouse,
Yes.
I think Rouse just got bought by a major corporation, but it used to be.
Damn it, Rouse!
I know. Honestly, that's how I don't know if you were doing a bit. That's exactly how I feel.
Does hurt.
It pisses me off.
Mine was. I grew up with the Paul Newman pasta sauce. That's what my mum would get because they donated to charity or something.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't that bad either.
I loved the Paul Newman pasta sauce. Very hard to find out here now.
Yeah.
Now that Paul's not pushing it, it's always they have a couple bottles in the big stores.
I think I was a Prego. Or whatever. It was whatever.
That's what we call a pregnant woman.
It was the cheap giant jar. but a preggo.
It's so hard to find out here what, because sometimes you pay more for a, like a pasta sauce, and it's just fine.
Yeah.
I used to know. I used to say, that's Dolmio's. That's not good.
You got Google, though.
Yeah, but
Just figure.
people have different opinions. You have to.
You have to try.
You have to have a lifetime of trying all the different pasta sauces.
Yeah.
To know. Or the butters. There are so many butters.
See, butter. I don't know that butter. I've never. You know
I'm
what?
on the plant butter.
I'm now that I was about to say butter could be anything to me as long as cheap butter, expensive butter. I was about to say that, then I thought about being in a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
Where or a fine restaurant, like you could.
Yes.
A fucking Olive Garden even, and they bring out the bread and the butter.
Ooh.
And Olive Garden might give you the packets of butter.
Well, they've got the butter caked on to the garlic bread. They call it garlic bread. They call it breadsticks, but it's weird garlic bread. I couldn't believe how nice Olive Garden was.
Olive Garden's underrated.
Olive Garden, to me, nicer than Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory was very nice.
Yeah.
The furnishings are nicer at a Cheesecake Factory, but when I look at the meal, I was.
This is I think I do have with Olive Garden though, is I used to like it when I lived in PA, and I moved to Jersey, North Jersey, so I was like New York, New Jersey area, and my pasta
more authentico with the Itals.
A lot more authentic with the Italians there, and like that's the thing I hate the most about Texas is no Spanish food that's not Mexican food, and no.
Let's start on this, because if I have to eat tacos again, I'm going to kill somebody.
Bruh.
I hate them.
I
loved them when I came here. No, I had them too much.
Yeah, same. It's like, there's not a variety. Like, have you tried, like, flautas?
I don't even know. It's like flour?
Flautas are like fried. They are fried, but they're really good. Dorian's Bistro right around from
okay.
If you ever hungry thinking like, all right, I gotta get something, they have phenomenal flautas.
I'll give the flautas a go. I've got to mix it up.
Flautas are good. But
first time I had Chipotle, I thought this is the future, and now it's like it's just clean.
Yeah, it's barely Mexican. It's not Mexican food.
No,
it's American style.
It's our Zambrero.
Have you had Cabo Bob's?
I've not had Cabo Bob's.
Have Cabo Bob. It's like if you took Chipotle and made it a little more authentic.
I don't want it too authentic.
Barely. That's what I'm saying.
What I love is what I think is the most authentic is the illegal alien on the corner.
Who's just selling tamales?
Who's doing a very strange hot dog?
On Six.
I love that man's.
You get the dogs?
Oh yes.
I've never once.
Capsicum. It feels strange and dirty.
Yeah, it feels like there's no way it's that clean.
It can't be clean, but it is great. Yeah. It's a great time.
It looks good. I walk past a little drunk going to get like my Uber spot or drive, and I'll look at them and I'll go.
One day you'll be drunk enough, and that breaks the seal. I was fine.
My guts have been betraying me lately, so I'm kind of nervous. Like I used to love spicy food. Like I had my girl made shrimp tacos the other day, and just because like we had shrimp, we have shells. She seasoned them to be like a little spicy. 2 days ago, yesterday morning, I was paying for them, and we had to go over to Manshane's to do the pod, and it was like. So I just was like woke up and was like, all right, I have to.
You were in and out of the pod over and over again with the big.
No, I got it all out before the pod, but I had to like I was eating those. And I was like, I gotta wake up earlier. I need to give myself extra crap time. I needed a wake up crap.
Yeah,
like right away. Then I had to drink water, had a ginger tea, and then was
you
like,
really did it.
I really was.
You're preparing yourself for game day.
Yeah.
I was counting 6 craps. For me, it's number.
Yeah.
I had a day on tour where I did 6 craps, and it's like I don't know what's.
Yeah.
That's off milk as well. Something is the American food. Something is. Do you think it's a Texas food thing?
I think it's American. I think it's just the weird shit we have in it. Because you said it didn't. Like it was before you got here. You were dealing with like you had a shit that you thought you were sick.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was a secret.
No,
I'm sorry if I just said a secret.
The bowel has been out of control, but I don't eat in an orderly way, and I don't really know what I'm not able to have. Like I became lactose intolerant.
Yeah. And
just didn't pick that's what was happening to me for a long time. I just thought.
Yeah.
I had a parasite or something.
How old are you now?
33.
33. My girl just developed it kind of recently. She was like 28, but it's just like it just happened. It just came for her.
I believe that I can fix it if I drink enough Yakult. And you know what I mean?
What is that?
It's a Japanese gut health drink. It's a small Japanese gut health drink.
I might need that.
Get here. I want to be able to eat everything.
You gotta text me the name.
I won't be able to eat everything. Stop.
Oh shit! You got a wasp right by your head. Ooh, you should have felt my heart tense.
Is it gone?
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
I don't like the great outdoors.
I do and don't.
I'm being silly. I do. Yeah.
You know what I got that was like it worked immediately on my balcony at my apartment. There was wasps. I could tell they were plotting on a nest by it. They were flying. They were checking. They were like in my doorway. I went on Amazon for like $10. Got this 2-pack of fake wasp nests.
Yes.
Just giant, just overnight.
Fake wasp nests.
Yeah. It's like just a big ass like small watermelon size wasp nest.
Personal watermelon, and it makes. I found out about that term. But what the other wasps see that and they go, "This is another wasp's territory."
Yeah, and they don't, and they haven't even flown past my apartment.
Yeah,
my thing since, because they say they got like memory and shit.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they say like if you fuck with a wasp nest,
we've had big wasp problems.
Yeah,
and then we didn't want to mess with the wasp nest. We bought a birdhouse at the old house.
Yeah, and
wasps got in there, and we just stood with that at the front of our house and didn't touch it. And then Peter Bedgood came over, a guy from Tulsa.
Yeah.
Who's drawing Wimbledog at the moment, and I have to call him to figure out when we're releasing Wimbledog.
Yeah, Wimbledog guy.
Yeah, the Wimbledog guy. He just picked it up and he walked it out and he put it over here. And he like shook the wasp thing out and then he brought the birdhouse back. It was a display of masculinity that I could barely compute.
I would be like, good. That's one of them displays of masculinity. I go, good for you. I could never.
Yeah, I don't even aspire to be able to
don't want to be that guy.
He was too cool.
Yeah.
Peter, I'm getting on to... I'll quickly rattle up. So, the Wimbledog is coming.
Yes.
I wrote it for Shane.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the character as being fat, and he refused to read the script. So I asked, could I use his likeness in the graphic novel?
Yeah.
So we're having a graphic novel come
Yeah.
out. The Wimbledog graphic novel. The new board game is coming out soon.
What's the board game?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I think it's called Freedom of the Seas. And we're going to play a virtual version of it. There's all these, I don't know, maybe this is where I just have like 8 things that need a final little push.
Yeah.
And then I don't do them and I go, another day.
I'll get to it. One day you'll have 8 things drop at once.
That's going to be nice. I've got an album that has to come out.
Yeah. Where did you tape that?
The album?
Yeah.
I just do it on my phone. I just write the music on my phone and then I sing it into the computer.
I thought, okay, I'm thinking comedy album, and I'm thinking you're doing just phone on the stage.
No.
You're like, I'm putting this out.
No, I'm doing...
I was like, come on, Jay.
It's called Cover Up. It's songs by women.
It's just you
Just me singing. Yeah. All along it was a fever. Round and around. That one's on there. Do you have to let it linger? That one's on there.
Okay.
Very hard to know. Linger.
Yeah.
What else is on there? There will be no white flag above my door. I'm in love and always. Dido. That'll be on there. I took my love and I took it down.
And you expect people to listen to this?
The music career is going better than I ever could have imagined.
Are people listening to your music?
I checked Spotify yesterday. It's been months since my last release.
Yeah.
I have 1,000 listeners a month of people who just want to listen
to the music.
It's absurd. The music is bad.
That's a sweet looking lady. She had a nice smile.
Who else does a podcast like this?
No, on a boat? I've never done a podcast on a boat.
I'm on that new level.
You on? I'm on that new level.
I'm on that new level. Well, what's coming up for you? How are you breaking through the shackles of this? Because I recorded a comedy special, and I ran around telling everybody, we've all got to do a comedy special. And then I had the raw milk, and I was shitting myself, and I cut it down to 18 minutes like a coward. And it's like, it is actually hard. I was talking a big game about how important it is to record an hour and put it out. Yeah. And then when it comes time to do it, it is actually terrifying. Yeah, especially if you haven't been doing an hour regularly. Yeah. It's like... It feels if I do one soon, which I do want to do, my plan is a 20 to a half hour. The set I've run, you know what I mean? Yes. I've been featuring. I've been going over doing 25 accidentally when I do it, and nice. I feel like all right, and it's going well. I'm like all right, so that 20. If I get 5 more, a half hour seems nice. 25 is not. 25 is not a problem. I found 18. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it is that thing of like you work so hard to make it, and then like. you record it and you put it out, and that's the thing that allows you to do more, bigger shows.
Yeah.
But you've destroyed the thing that people would want to come to see. If you're a musician, you do the album,
Yeah.
and you tour the album.
Yeah.
It seems better.
Yeah, it seems so much nicer. Yeah, you put out the thing and it's like, well, I got none of that.
I've got, now that it's come time for everybody to judge me in the flesh, I have nothing at all.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be a lot of ideas. It's going to be 40 minutes of ideas I'm sending your way.
A lot of crowd work. No, this has been a long podcast for me.
Hell yeah.
We can push on.
It's up to you. I'm chilling.
All right.
I got nothing.
Have you eaten today?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat with my girl.
All right, I understand.
Because I told you tomorrow's her birthday, so I'm giving her a little pre-birthday.
Devastating.
What?
Devastating.
What?
That comes over.
I know.
Maybe we could have a meal. No, I have to eat with my girlfriend because it's her birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've never heard.
I already told her I would get
a
her
more vicious excuse for getting out of hanging out with a fellow brother.
See, you say that. I told James before we started recording. I'm doing nice things for her. He's making me look like an asshole.
Nate Marshall, everybody. Nate Marshall, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for letting me be, one of the first on the boat.
The first, I'm going to get this in here, and then I think I'll set that up like a studio, and then all the podcasts will be on the boat.
Just on the boat in the back.
On the boat.
How the fuck are you going to get the whole thing in there?
Well, I can take this off.
Oh.
And I can put this somewhere. I don't know where yet.
Yeah.
And then I have to put the actual boat diagonally.
Yeah.
So it has to be very, very
particular.
In the garage.
That's going to be a rough get in.
And because you said that about geo, I mean, it's only the color of this house that might give me away.
Yeah.
So I might put this one out in black and white.
Yeah.
And then my location remains hidden.
I think that's a great move.
Not that I care.
Yeah. I mean, people seem to love you. You're God's fearing man. People like that. I like that about
there are
you.
Crazy people out there.
True.
Not my fans. The best. James on Force McCann, Catamaran Plan, Patreon, available now. New episodes coming out when I get to them. It's been one a week for a little while.
Yeah. Then you hit the craps.
Nate, what's the Instagram?
Oh, is that Nate Marshall? I wish that was different, but it's not.
It's that Nate Marshall. Is that? Oh, is that?
Like, is that Nate Marshall?
I thought you were saying it like a cool.
No.
It's that Nate Marshall.
No.
Is that Nate Marshall?
I actually like that one better. There's another. Have I ever told you about the other Nate Marshall?
No.
Real quick before we get out of here.
The other Nate Marshall.
He's a poet. He's a poet, and he's like a good poet. But he doesn't look like me, but I can see how if you don't really know what I look like, he wears he's bald.
Okay.
But he rocks a hat, and he has like a similar beard that I do, and he wears glasses, and we're about the same skin tone. So like the defining features.
My follow-up question.
Yeah. What?
Is he a black guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it was all the. But the thing is, he's Chinese.
No, he's a Chicago poet that does extra like black Chicago poetry.
Yeah.
Like he has a published book called Fitna.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm fitting
I understand.
Yeah. I've read some of his shit. If you like poetry, he's actually.
Is he successful?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can make like a bunch of money doing poetry, but he does like book signings.
We're finding
and
out.
stuff.
We're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
You can make okay money on the Instagram age.
Yeah.
Anyway, so hold on. Are you gonna meet? You got to meet this guy.
Sure, I don't know if he wants to meet me. I feel like I might have been I haven't been nasty. He knows I exist. Okay. I know he knows I exist because this is why this does bother me about him.
Yeah,
because I feel like he's gone out his way to try to like flag down in the name Nate Marshall, and like he wrote a piece that I forget how I found it, but he wrote a piece that was about the name Nate Marshall, and he was like, "There's all these Nate Marshalls. There's a comedian. There's a there's a football player. And there is a football player. I think he plays for like Auburn, and he's like nice. Also black dude." It
doesn't sound like a particularly black name. But
I think Marshall, but Marshall is a black last name.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall's a black last name.
Marshall Mathers.
First name.
Yeah.
And I mean, he rapped.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Still got some black.
That is true.
He's a very white guy.
You don't think he wants to meet you and talk to you, this guy? I think you get the Nate Marshalls together. I was thinking about getting the James McCanns together because we got a catcher.
I don't think
in Major League Baseball.
I don't think we would mesh.
You wouldn't hit it off.
I don't think we'd hit it off. I think I say something like, "Man, talk to me about bitches," and he'd be like, "You mean women, brother?" And I'd be like,
"So he's the intellectual black Chicago poet."
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of this. I watched Rhythm and Flow.
Yeah,
which was like the X Factor for rappers.
Yeah,
and it's like Chance the Rapper, Tip, and
was Los on that?
Who's Los?
King Los.
Does he have long hair?
He might have then. Baltimore guy.
There were so many guys. I only knew 2 of the rappers who were contestants on it. One was Cakes to Killer, a gay rapper.
Yeah.
Who
his name was Cakes.
Cakes to Killer.
I don't want no smoke. You named Cakes to Killer.
Cakes to Killer had a great song. It was "You Only Want Me for My Good Good." You only want me for my goody goodies. But Cakes didn't make it through. And then who was it was the third. There was a lady on there. Oh, you know. Cardi B. Cardi B was one of the judges.
Okay.
And, you know, they go to New York and everyone's got like they're hustling.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to work so hard. No one's even going to believe how hard I work.
Yeah.
And then they go to LA and everybody's like, I've killed people before.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I kill people.
Yeah.
And then they go to Chicago and everybody has glasses. And you know the little hat.
Chicago's an artsy fartsy, like their music scene.
So artsy fartsy.
If it's not drill rap, it's artsy fartsy. It's Common.
Chief Keef is on one end, and
Common.
Lupe Fiasco is very much on the other end. That's all right.
Lupe is one of my goats. I think he's like one of the best all time.
I remember I was like, it was the year I graduated, but Food and Liquor was out.
Beautiful.
And I got
album.
that. There's a bit where he just rhymes the same sound over and over again for like a minute and a half. He's like, atomic bombing them.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Catholic priest fondling them.
Yeah.
And then he breaks it with Israeli occupation.
Yeah.
He was riding that wave very early.
Yeah.
And you know, one of his biggest hits was with South Australian, a man from my town, Guy Sebastian, and they had Battle Scars.
Battle Scars was a guy from your town?
Yes, it's Guy.
Yeah.
Is that a hit here?
I fucked with it. Lupe was
it was
never
like number one
big.
For ages in Australia.
Lupe's biggest song here, I think, was Show Is Going On.
Yeah, that was the Modest Mouse version. Kick Push would have blown up on the blogs.
Kick Push was big.
And then a great feature on Touch the Sky.
That's where I first found him.
Peach Buzz like Miss Butterworth.
Man, did you ever hear? We could. Nah,
Come on.
I can start. I don't think it actually made it to his real, because when Food and Liquor, I don't know if you remember this happened. The album leaked way before the release.
And then he didn't release things from it.
Yeah, and one of the songs on it has my favorite like couple of rap bars of all time. I think they're masterful. And it never actually officially put it out. The words he doesn't say rhymes, and that's I'll say, all right. So he said, "I'm just trying to do the opposite of left for the rest of my opposite of death, but test, and I just might bring the opposite of life till there's no one the opposite of right." And then if you just say the things he did, he's like, "I'm just trying to do right for the rest of my life." But test, and I just might bring death till there's no one left. Like either way, it's a dope bar, but that
is better than the Kanye one where he refuses to rhyme. Have you seen that?
What, the scoops to poop?
No, he's rhyming on scoopity poop. That's rhyming. But there's one where he goes into sway. I like that Lupe thing. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
There's a thing where they go, do a freestyle for us, Kanye. He's like, I don't want to do a freestyle. And they go, please. And he goes, all right. And then he raps and like he sets it up to be an obvious rhyme, and then he just doesn't do it. He's like,
it makes me so sad. What's going on with Kanye?
I'm here rapping on the mic, saying things that I don't enjoy. Uh-oh. I'm doing a boost, but there is at one point where he goes, uh-oh. I'm going to play that for you when this is over. That's one of my favorites.
That sounds great.
I may never get to do one of my friends I started out doing comedy with. He got to do he's all day. He's a rapper from Australia. He was a comedian, and then he became a rapper, and now he's like breaking America. And he got to do a freestyle on Sway. He's a little white boy from Adelaide.
Yeah,
and they all like when they all said that was a good freestyle.
Yeah,
we were so happy.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable that someone from Mercedes College.
Is Adelaide that's a big city though, right?
It's about Austin. It's like 1.2 million.
Okay.
So by Australian standards, it's tiny.
Okay.
Perth is like probably 2 and a bit.
I have an Australia question. I know we were supposed to end.
No. An hour is good. We can,
okay.
Yeah.
Because you talking about driving this, and you're a big long distance driver. Like,
I love the long distance drive.
That's an Australian thing, right? Like, isn't it like travel times in between places are long?
The nearest town to my house is an 8.5 hour drive away.
Okay.
And the worst, Perth is the most isolated city in the world. That's on the west coast, and it's a full 2-day drive.
Yeah.
And it's not a good 2-day drive. Like there's It sounds like an Aboriginal word, but it's not. It's a Latin word. The nullarbor.
Okay.
And it means null abor, no trees.
Yeah.
And so if you drive along the coast, it's like not even. It's no trees at all for 2 days.
It's just flat
and nothing but flat.
Is it safe out there during those drives?
What do you mean?
Well, not for me.
Yes, yeah, you could do it. No, I mean the road is not like the road is well maintained.
Yeah, I mean, like, is it like? Are you worried about like breaking down and being like someone's going to cut my head off?
Well, we make movies about it because it's how everybody feels.
Yeah.
But I'd say the more dangerous areas are in the northeast and in the middle. But you'd be fine on the Nullarbor. You'd just have a man who. I've never done the drive. I have friends who've done it, and I've thought about doing it. I mean, the Adelaide-Melbourne drive is very boring.
Yeah.
It's just 8.5 hours. But, there are some... It's weird the things you miss.
Yeah.
I hated doing that drive for the 20th time or whatever because it was like, if you went with other people, it was cheaper than the 90-minute flight.
Yeah.
You give up a full day. But then, there's a big koala made of, like... styrofoam. What's this huge koala with glowing red eyes that's terrifying at night. You get to go through Horsham. Who doesn't? Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Horsham is a great town. I think Adam Goods is from Horsham, but there was a subway that I stopped at Horsham on the drive through all the time. Border town, I stopped there one night because it was my first time.
Border town, a border town?
It's right on the border, and I stayed in like
a funny name,
like a hotel that the only other people staying there were for years like truck drivers.
Yeah,
and the smell of cum.
Yeah,
I couldn't sleep for how unbelievably powerful the cum smell was.
Just the cum smell of the town?
Cum smell was brilliant.
Did they have those little white, you ever see those trees that have white leaves that smell like cum?
We've got the cum trees.
You had the cum trees?
Yeah, we call them cum trees.
So we
call them cum.
We call them cum trees.
I also have a blocked nose at the moment.
Yeah.
That's changing my accent up.
We can wrap it up.
All right, 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. So.
Affirmations. People love affirmations on the show.
Okay.
I affirm... I'm going to get some of these projects done. I'm going to call Peter today, get Wimbledon. I'm going to play my own board game. Yes. What are you doing tomorrow morning at 4:40 a.m.? Probably sleeping.
4:40. There's a big chance I'm sleeping. I'm probably going to get a haircut. I told you. I'm trying to do. This is one of them birthdays where your girl starts feeling old. So I'm trying to make her. She's 31. She'll be 31. I understand. She's about to cross over. So I'm trying to make her feel young and hot and cool. So I wanted to. We've been together a long time.
How long have you been together?
9 years.
That's you've robbed this woman of her 20s, and you refuse to give her a child.
I don't refuse to give her a child. She doesn't want one now either. She wants one eventually, but she does. Like if she,
it's what women think.
If she got pregnant right now, I'm pretty sure the people who went to that show, the guy gave the boat. I see
what you're saying. We'll have a conversation about it afterwards.
No, I don't know. I don't know that.
What are you going to get done? You're going to show your lady a lovely time. I'm
going to show her a lovely time, and you mean my. What was the thing you said we were doing? What are we doing? Affirmations. My affirmation is I don't know, write more jokes. I got a new thing I'm working on that I think is real fun.
Do you want to lay it on the listeners, or you want to keep it secret?
I'll say the premise. Just say your lady, your girl can't be your best friend.
Yes.
I don't think that's a real thing. Couples say that, and I think it's bullshit. And my girl said it to me the other day. It made me mad, and I thought about it. And it's been working. It's been working, and it doesn't.
She told you that you were not her best friend.
No, she said I was her best friend.
Oh,
and
that's
I got mad in my head. I was like, I'm not your fucking best friend. I mean, man, I'm not your best friend, though.
You felt you were being dragged down to a less sexy romantic position.
No, she didn't mean it that way at all. I just don't think it's real. Like, I actually don't think people in a relationship can be. And I get here in the bit. It's more of a punchline when I say it, but this is when I was thinking about it. This is a thought I had. I was like, if I ever was to fuck up and cheat on my girlfriend, who would I call after that?
That's a very funny.
That's my best friend.
Yeah, that's a very funny premise.
Yeah. I
complained to my best friend about my my wife.
And this
but here's the other thing. I also don't. I realize that maybe I never whinge.
Yeah.
And this has been very hard for my wife.
What do you mean by whinge?
Oh, complain.
Oh, okay,
have a whinge.
Yeah.
Say. But I think that's important to some people go to therapists or they talk with their friends about their problems with their relationship. I am a vault.
Yeah. I get that.
I just get angrier and angrier and angrier and don't tell anybody what's going on until we work it out.
I think talk. Oh,
I've been angry at the moment because the kids won't stop coming into the bedroom.
yeah.
And I want them out.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
I know you do.
I woke up yesterday morning and something felt wrong in the room.
Yeah.
And my daughter slithered out from under the bed at 6 a.m. And I said, "What are you doing?" And then you're being very loud. You're waking everybody up. But she can't do this.
Yeah.
And then I get more angry about it than my wife does. And then also when I'm away, they're all in there with her.
Yeah, so they're like, they get used to that being the hangout spot.
And then Daddy's back, and he wants to have his own. How hard do I have to work?
Yeah.
How much success do I have to have?
Yeah.
To have
It's a little goddamn piece.
any door I can close.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel you. My only version of that is when I have a day to chill and my girl wants to go do something and I'm like, I'm always outside. I just want to be inside.
It's inside. On the couch.
Yeah.
The wonderful couch.
I just want to lay on the couch and pet the dog. That's all I want to do all fucking day. And you want to go.
She's waiting for you to come back. She's been waiting for you to come back from the road.
Yeah.
And you've been waiting to come back from the road.
Yeah.
I don't know what the middle activity to that is. It's probably going out on the boat together. You know what I'm saying? If you have the big fancy boat, you can just chill on the boat. You can sit downstairs and she can do all the boat things.
Yeah. You're not taking the kids on the boat when you first go on the boat.
James Donald Force McCann, Catamaran Plan. That's the end of that episode. Thank you, Nate Marshall. Get him online.
Is that Nate Marshall? You know.
Big shout out, Ben Dominich as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
PITM podcast. I meant to shout that out.
Panties in the Mouth podcast.
James
I've
was
been
on a great episode. James,
I had a great time. Amos Gill attacked me.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Because I was late. Ben Dominich, thank you. Go follow him. Go get his podcast. I might have him on to talk about tariff policy and also public transport, because you do a 15-hour drive with somebody, you figure out where the divisions are that you will be able to argue about in the future. And he doesn't think America can build trains. And I'm a big believer in trains.
I'm pretty sure we can build trains.
I think you could build the best trains the world's ever seen.
We for sure could. We just spend the money on missiles.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
It's also very important to have missiles.
We've made too many enemies. If we stop spending money on missiles, we're done.
If you use some of those missiles to take over some of the world and we take their resources again, we could spend that money on trains. That's all I'm saying. I'm a pro-train imperialist. I think the British Empire had the right idea. We have to stop.